In the top stories, official opening of Sugar Mass 50 slated for Friday. Jamaica's Prime Minister faces backlash over death penalty remark, and Michigan teen charged with first-degree murder. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today's Thursday, the 2nd of December 2021. I'm Jason Davis. Nationally, the National Carnival Committee is inviting the general public to the grand opening of the 2021 National Carnival Sugar Mass 50 on Friday. The opening ceremony will take place at Carnival Village at 7 o'clock. According to a statement from the National Carnival Committee, there is no admission fee, but the event is only open to fully vaccinated persons in accordance with the health protocols established by the COVID-19 task force, which will be observed to gain access to the venue. The event will be carried live on ZIZ Radio and will also be streamed live on the Facebook and YouTube platforms of the Carnival Committee and ZIZ. Hosting its Mutton or Nuttin luncheon at the Agro Strip on Pond Road on Friday. The association was recently formed by several small ruminant farmers between Otley's and Parsons Village who raise animals such as sheep and goats for livestock production. Livestock Extension Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, who is responsible for small ruminants, Delisha Huggins, explained the purpose for the Mutton or Nuttin luncheon.
This event is geared towards exposing our locals to the local meat as opposed to the imported meat, to give a taste of what our local farmers can do. So I'm encouraging everyone, Friday the 3rd, Agri Strip, 11:30, come on out and join us.
Special mutton lunches will be available for sale in support of the local farmers. The public can expect to be served goat water, grilled, stewed, and curried mutton. Interested persons can contact 764-0518 for more information. The SKNFA continues to profile teams in the Premier League, and today we profile Bath United, and media consultant to the St. Kitts Nevis Football Association has this feature report.
Hot Springs Bath United is the only club from Nevis in the SKNFA Premier Division. A club with probably the youngest average players in the league, Bath is the perfect example of a club with a strong youth system to fuel the senior team. Bath was first promoted to the Premier League for the 2015-2016 season, only for them to be battered by the heavyweights and sent back down to Division 1. At that point, the club made a decision to blood the youngsters into the team and work their way back to the Premier League, and that is exactly what they did.
So I think Bath is one of our promising clubs, and I'm really hoping that they will continue to grow from strength to strength. They have the right attitude. They have to come to St. Kitts to play. It's unfortunate that we are not going over to Nevis so that they can play on their own turf at Grove Park or over at the Bath Field. But everything is virtual, so the fans over there can see exactly what their team has been doing in the Premier Division strip. But I think they have quality players. They have been listening to their coach. They'll have to listen a bit more. The standard has actually improved over the years, and it's a team that I see can grow from strength to strength. So I hope that they continue in the same vein and come back out when we resume and show us exactly what they would have had.
Earlier on, they and Premier League promotees TG Diebe Eagles struggled to get points, but even though Bath were not winning games, they were conceding less goals, and that has proven the difference between them and the bottom two teams.
We spoke about their defensive discipline in that Division 1 final. Work on and try up when men are coming one of the games earlier this season. We spoke of them being up front.
Bath United sit at 10th place in the Premier League table with 7 points and a minus 23 goal difference. They will need to get more points on the board to ensure safety, but in the meantime, if they can keep an even tighter lid from conceding more goals while being more prolific in front of their opponent's goal, Bath is a team for the future.
We now move to news on the regional scene. Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness has been facing criticism for comments made at the 78th Jamaica Labour Party conference on Sunday regarding the death penalty. More in this report.
Human rights attorney Isaac Buchanan says the Prime Minister's statement on the death penalty is a mockery of the Constitution. Speaking at the JLP conference on Sunday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says if it were up to him, quote, anyone found with an illegal firearm would start at the death penalty. End quote. In an interview with CVM Live, Buchanan says it is unfortunate that Mr. Holness used his platform to deliver this opinion, especially since it is not an option.
There is case law which makes it clear that what he is proposing is not even on the table or an option. Whether it was said in a joke, whether it was said to just give the conference life and vigor, it is most unfortunate and unacceptable.
Buchanan says much like the states of emergency, the Prime Minister's statement shows complete disregard for human rights. Some Jamaicans share that opinion. For them, it was far too radical.
If you catch him with a gun, and you think him death penalty, if you kill a man now and charge for murder, well, he get death penalty. But with a gun, he can get imprisonment, at least 115 years, but not death penalty.
As a government, you must try to make the right choice. I mean, you can't go kill a man too. You find with a gun. If you also give him 10 years, give him 20 then, but not say kill him. That can't right. So they need to look into it.
Others are agreeing with Mr. Holness.
Boy, I would say the same thing like what my Prime Minister said. Because look into it this way. You have an illegal gun. You don't know how much, I don't know how much people you kill with it. I don't know if I will be the next victim. You understand? So I think all of them people with illegal guns should have dead 20 million times.
Robianne Williams for CVM Live.
The U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention has raised Trinidad and Tobago's travel alert status to level 4, the highest rating, because of the climbing cases of COVID-19. Here's more.
Internationally, Trinidad and Tobago has been added to a list of countries where U.S. citizens are advised against traveling despite vaccination status. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, this country has been moved to a level 4 COVID-19 advisory list, which includes destinations the agency believes should be avoided by U.S. travelers. Level 4 is the highest category, and travel to these destinations are to be avoided due to high levels of COVID-19. Other determining factors include vaccination rates and new case counts. The CDC advises travelers who must travel to these destinations should be fully vaccinated and adhere to all COVID-19 safety protocols as advised by the destination country.
Internationally, a Michigan teenager was ordered held without bond on Wednesday after being charged with first-degree murder in the deadliest U.S. school shooting of the year, which killed 4 students and wounded 7 other people. More in this Reuters report.
Michigan prosecutors have charged the teen suspect in this year's deadliest U.S. shooting as an adult. Ethan Crumbly, a 15-year-old high school sophomore in Oxford, Michigan, about 40 miles north of Detroit, was charged with first-degree murder and a slew of other criminal counts on Wednesday. Crumbly opened fire on his classmates earlier this week, killing at least 4 students and wounding several others. Oakland County prosecuting attorney Karen McDonald spoke to reporters on Wednesday.
We are charging this individual with 1 count of terrorism causing death, 4 counts of first-degree murder, 7 counts of assault with intent to murder, and 12 counts of possession of a firearm and the commission of a felony.
Authorities say Crumbly used a semi-automatic handgun, which his father had purchased 4 days earlier. Sheriff Michael Bouchard said officials have found no link between the suspect and the victims.
Does not seem to be any connection, and based on what I saw in the video, it appears to be random.
The sheriff said school officials had contact with Crumbly the day before the shooting and another meeting with him and his parents the morning of for concerning behavior in the classroom. The sheriff told CNN on Wednesday that Crumbly intended to kill people, saying he fired at least 30 shots at close range, often aiming at people's heads and chests, and added, quote, "It's just absolutely cold-hearted murders." The community held a vigil Tuesday night for 3 of the students killed. The 4th died on Wednesday.
The U.S. Supreme Court has heard the most important abortion rights case in decades. Here's City News' Karen Thiolin with what's at stake and what the court appears likely to do.
Outside the U.S. Supreme Court, protesters from both sides of the abortion debate sound off. Inside, the future of Roe v. Wade at stake.
Roe versus Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey haunt our country. Nowhere else does this court recognize a right to end a human life.
The nation's highest court, with its conservative majority, is being asked to overturn the decision that legalized abortion in the 1970s.
We're estimating that within a year, about 26 states will ban abortion.
Front and center is a Mississippi law banning abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest after 15 weeks of pregnancy. That's months before the current standard set by Roe v. Wade at about 24 weeks, said the lawyer arguing for Mississippi's only licensed abortion clinic.
We think it would be devastating for the court to take this right away right now, and I think the court heard us on that argument.
Chief Justice John Roberts signaled the law could be upheld, but there's potential for a middle ground. Let states ban abortion earlier without ditching 50-year-old precedent.
If it really is an issue about choice, why is 15 weeks not enough time?
His conservative colleagues went further, suggesting the court be neutral on the issue. Defenders of abortion rights say coming to any kind of compromise is a loss for justice. The more liberal justices appear to agree.
Will this institution survive the stench that this creates in the public perception that the Constitution and its reading are just political acts?
The court says a decision is coming in June or July. Now, there's no federal law protecting the right to an abortion in the U.S. Instead, it's up to states to regulate the procedure, guided by Supreme Court rulings, starting with Roe v. Wade. Karen Thiolin, City News.
And now for the weather. Current conditions are mostly sunny with a high of 31 degrees Celsius or 88 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are from the east-northeast at 12 to 21 miles per hour. Seas are moderate with waves of 5 to 8 feet. A small craft advisory remains in effect. The weather forecast for today says relatively low moisture levels along with a subsidence pattern will keep the chances for cloudiness and showers low across the Leeward Islands and British Virgin Islands over the next 24 hours. Weather today will be partly cloudy with a 30% or low chance of showers. Weather tonight will be partly cloudy with a 30% or low chance of showers as well. Sunset today will be at 5:36 p.m., sunrise tomorrow at 6:26 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Jason Davis.